After being at the heart of a huge scandal for weeks, Kim Soo Hyun finally spoke up. Fans were more split than ever after his much-anticipated news appearance, which was meant to calm the issue. Originally intended to be a simple apology, it became an emotional roller coaster with startling disclosures, dubious omissions, and a sudden abrupt change in tone that nobody anticipated. You could sense the tension as soon as Kim Soo Hyun entered the room. The intelligent, gregarious actor we usually see on screen was no longer there. He was replaced by a man who was obviously worn out. He had a stiff posture, black circles under his eyes, and an attitude that betrayed restless nights. Even though there were a lot of reporters in the room, you could hear everything. Nobody was brave enough to speak first. Everyone was eager to hear his response to the weeks-long rumors or how he would address them. When he did speak, his opening remarks chilled everyone in the room. He started off by saying, "First of all, I want to apologize," in an emotionally charged tone. "Many people are suffering because of me, and it breaks my heart to know that the deceased cannot rest in peace." Something didn't feel quite right from this opening sentence. You'll notice that he didn't state what he was sorry for. Did he regret what he had done? For secret keeping? Or simply sorry that others were offended? It was impossible to overlook the ambiguity. The way he referred to Kim Soo Hyun was another noteworthy detail, however, not by name, but as the deceased. While some viewed this as a sign of respect, others felt that he was attempting to establish a sense of impersonality throughout the press conference. This deliberate, methodical word choice, which disclosed as much as it concealed, would recur frequently. Then came his affirmation of their relationship, which was the moment everyone had been anticipating. "I did not date the deceased when she was underage," he said in a voice that was almost audible above a whisper. "We had a typical relationship. After meeting and developing affection for one another, we eventually split up." This first appeared to resolve the main issue, which was the rumors that he was seeing a minor. But if you pay more attention, you'll see what he left out. No particular dates, no schedule. There was no explanation of the duration of their relationship or its termination, only that it was like any other relationship, a somewhat condescending statement considering the situation. Reactions were all over the internet. Some admirers firmly believed him, citing his heartfelt delivery as evidence of his genuineness. Others weren't persuaded, pointing out that Kim Soo Hyun is among Korea's most gifted actors and that he would be the most likely to give a credible performance. As the news conference went on, this gap in public perception would only widen. "I was always focused on protecting what I had built," he said candidly when asked why he had kept the relationship a secret for so long. "I was terrified of getting hurt or losing something. And as a result, I ran around and denied things for too long." To put it another way, he lied to keep his job. He acknowledged that he was afraid of losing his notoriety, his endorsements, and his meticulously constructed public persona. Some characterized this as selfish, pointing out that his quiet affected Kim Soo Hyun as well as himself, while others saw it as refreshingly honest. Then the tears started to fall. His voice broke midway through Kim Soo Hyun's statement. He pushed away the tears that welled up in his eyes, but not before the cameras captured every second. It was emotive and unvarnished. But was it sincere? Social media instantly became divided. Apparent pain moved some viewers, while others wondered if this was just another play by an actor who was recognized for his ability to cry at the right moment. The emotional beats were arranged too precisely, and the timing seemed too ideal. Kim Soo Hyun unleashed a bombshell that completely altered the course of the news conference just as it appeared to be coming to an end. When he declared his intention to file a lawsuit against individuals disseminating false information about him and his relationship, his tone drastically changed. Abruptly, the weak, weeping man was gone, to be replaced by someone strong and resolute. This striking contrast was a deliberate choice rather than an accident. He first displayed vulnerability in an attempt to win people over. Then, to regain control, he displayed power, A crisis management masterclass, if you will. What's really troubling, though, is that Kim Soo Hyun hardly brought up the possibility that his actions had an impact on Kim Sai Ron during the whole press conference. He talked extensively about his personal suffering, anxieties, and career. But he seldom mentioned the woman at the heart of the controversy. The media and viewers were not blind to this obvious omission. Although the event was widely covered by Korean news outlets, opinions were divided. While some commended his candor, others drew attention to the contradictions in his account. According to one very harsh response, this wasn't an apology. It was a carefully staged attempt at damage control. The polarization of public opinion. Demonstrated how complex this issue had grown. What does this leave us with, then? Even though Kim Soo Hyun is still one of Korea's most well-known celebrities, this controversy has surely had an impact. In the upcoming weeks, the entertainment business will be intently monitoring public reaction. Will fans forget and forgive? Or has the perception of one of Korea's most adored stars been irrevocably altered by this incident? There's no denying that this press conference left more questions than it resolved. The well-chosen language, the poignant scenes, and the abrupt turn to violence all suggest that the story is far from over. New information will inevitably surface when the dust settles, and public opinion might change once more. How did you feel about the news conference that Kim Soo Hyun held? Was this all a staged production, or were his tears real? Perhaps the truth is more nuanced than any of us realizes. There is no doubt that this crisis is far from over. The next episode of this narrative could be even more surprising than what we've seen thus far, so stay tuned. As this issue develops further, don't forget to stay tuned for updates. Just wait till we see how the public and industry react in the coming days. If you felt that this news conference was illuminating, not by any means is this over.